quarterback in the past, right? They allow you to get out there, run and catch and jump, all of that stuff.
All right. My next question is, did Jack Lambert intimidate you or any of the other Steeler players back then? Because I know he was known for being...
No, I mean, Jack Lambert, you know some football. I love that. So Jack Lambert was an intimidator. I mean, you can't play. I mean, I never was intimidated by him, but there were people that were intimidated by him. He never went about to try to intimidate his teammates. He sometimes tried to intimidate, like, rookies and stuff like that. But, man, you coming in there, man, you trying to do your thing, man. You ain't got time for that.
Oh, yeah. I asked you about your workout routine earlier. What was your diet? Like, how did you have the diet being an athlete?
My diet was horrible because back then we didn't like they do now. We didn't know about nutrition like they do now. So back then, like, nutrition wasn't a big factor. I mean, we ate everything and all that stuff, man. It was different.
Here's my next question. Do you think the NFL today is too focused on making money, bringing in revenue, and all that?
I mean, it's a business, right? So, I mean, sometimes I know some people get upset about that. I don't, because, it's a business. It's a business. And so in a business, one of the main things you want to do is you want to make money. And that's what they try to do. And that's what they do. They do it well. It's a multi-billion-dollar business.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, just like, like when you talk about being, on the mic and all that kind of stuff, and if you were in the position, and when you will be one day, if that's your goal, you're going to try to make as much money as you can, and, so that you can, do the things that you want to do.
That's a fact. Speaking of all facts, not too long ago, I just asked you about what position would you play today. Do you think it would be easier for you to play in today's game versus when you actually played football?
Oh, yeah, be honest. Now, it's a whole different game because it's less physical than it used to be. The rules are set up for offenses to do well, right? So as a tight end, a big guy like me, people can't really hit you now. If you can't jam me at the line and stuff like that, you're going to have a hard time against a big guy. I'm 6'9", 250 pounds. So if you can let me just run free, what can you do? You're going to be in trouble.
I know Nick is getting ready for his next question, but I'll add on to it. How many yards do you think you could get as a tight end or wide receiver in today's games? And how many touchdowns do you think you could get?
I mean, again, a lot of that has to do with the right system, right? You get in the right system, man, you can do what you need to do, because if you throw me the ball, I'm going to catch it. And if I catch it, if you got them little guys out there trying to tackle me, I'm probably going to score a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Nick's turn.
Do you think was the most underrated or just most looked over player from the Steelers' big dynasty? There's so much star talent. Some players had to get overlooked.
There's a lot of guys on that team, but let me think, who was probably the most underrated. Because all those guys got a lot of notoriety. But I'm going to say, with my college mate, a guy named Mike Webster, he went to the same college as I did. To me, he was the epitome of what the Steelers were about.
Yeah.
He was a hard-working, tough-nosed guy, and never complained. He just did a job.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
My next question is, what do you think is the biggest reason why you were not able to achieve win the Super Bowl, get the Lombardi Trophy?
Well, because I was on the wrong team. Like when we went to the Super Bowl, man, we just played our worst game of the year. We probably were overcoached. Our coach, Dick Vermeil, was his first Super Bowl. He wasn't, he just tried to do too much. You know how y'all ever saying, you're doing too much, he was doing too much.
Okay. I'm going to guess which Eagles team you were on. Of the 1980s Eagles? That's what you're referring to?
I am.
Okay. I think it's Nick's turn now.
What was it like losing the Super Bowl? Like, had to be some emotion in there. Like, how devastating, like, how hard was it to deal with?
Want me to say that again, please?
How did it feel to lose a Super Bowl? How hard was it to deal with?
Oh, that's super hard. I mean, it's funny. Now, think about this. On the Super Bowl Sunday, only two teams play, right? The two champions from their both conferences. But when you lose the game, you feel like a loser. You don't feel like a winner. You feel like a loser.
That's a fact. I couldn't imagine losing a Super Bowl. Sometimes I get mad losing regular games, so I can imagine losing a biggest game.
To be quite
Since we on the Super Bowl topic, what would you have done differently to get that Lombardi Trophy?
Well, I just think if we had gotten our rest and our coach would have relaxed a little bit more, I think we would have did a lot better.
Oh yeah. Oh,
We got a curfew. The Raiders that we played, they didn't have curfews or anything. And so, man, they when they played that game, man, they played that game. They were loose and we were tight, and that's why they beat us.
I have an add-on question to the Raiders. I noticed that they won the Super Bowl in 1976, 1980, and 1983. Do you consider those Raiders teams an NFL dynasty?
I don't. So when we lost to the Raiders in 1980, one of my college teammates played for the Raiders, right? And so it was, kind of difficult, because he always brings it up every time I see him, obviously. But I didn't see it as a dynasty. I saw them as a very good franchise.
Very interesting. Me personally, I would, if you consider the Redskins who won from 1982 to 91 a dynasty, I feel like you would have to consider that Raiders team a dynasty. They both won 3 championships. That Raiders team beat Washington head to head, I believe 38-9 in the Super Bowl. Somebody can fact check me. And the Raiders went to 3 Super Bowls. I believe they went to about maybe 5 or 6 championship games, maybe even more than that, maybe less than that, but somewhere around there. I would have, and they did all of that in an 8-year span. I would have to consider that a dynasty. Maybe not as dominant as the other dynasties that we've seen, but I would have to consider that a dynasty.
You got to look at the Steelers, who won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. You got to look at the 49ers, right, who dominated the 80s. Then you got to look at the Cowboys, who dominated the 90s. Then you start getting into them Patriots teams, So I wouldn't put the Raiders in there personally, but
I think they're a lower tier dynasty. Out of all the dynasties that you named, I think they're definitely worse than the other ones besides Washington. I think that's debatable, right. But I would have to give them the edge, especially because they beat them head to head. Not just beat them, they destroyed them head to head. But I would consider them a low tier dynasty because I feel like once you get that 3rd championship, you're solidified.
No, I respect that.
Who was your favorite player modern day, current player? Who's your favorite?
My favorite player nowadays, probably Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar a lot.
Yes. Oh yeah. Where do you think Lamar Jackson will go?
I like Lamar a lot, man. I like his style of play, and I like the way he carries it, off the field too.
Where do you think Lamar Jackson will rank all time if he wins the Super Bowl?
I'd like to win more than one, man, to get ranked up at real high. I mean, he got 2 MVPs, but he got to win 2 or 3 to become, one of the all-time greats. I mean, he win one, he'll get to the Hall of Fame, but he's got to win 2 or 3 to be, a lot of guys ahead of him.
I mean, a lot of guys in the top 10 only have 1 ring, though. Like Aaron Rodgers in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers is top 5, probably 5th though. He only has 1 ring. Guys like Brett Favre and Steve Young only have 1 ring. Guys like Kurt Warner and John Elway and Drew Brees, they only have 1 ring.
No, John Elway got 2.
I mean, no, I meant Drew Brees. I meant Drew Brees. I was thinking of the Super Bowl MVPs. John Elway has 2. But everybody else that I mentioned only won 1 as the man, because Steve Young technically has 3, but he was a backup.
Yeah. So, it's too early to say right now, because, you still got, years left, man. I think Lamar, he's going to get a couple Super Bowls with the Ravens. And I expect them they should have won 1 last year.
Okay. Since I talk about Lamar, I got to talk about Mahomes. What do you think about him as far as those all-time rankings go?
I mean, a lot of people put him at number one. I mean, he's way more talented than anybody we've seen. You know, and if he wins one more, I mean, you know, nobody's gonna win like Brady did, I don't think. But you know, they ain't gonna be up there. I think he's like one or two. So, hey guys, look, I'm sitting outside of a meeting, man. I really enjoyed this, but I got a 6:30 meeting that I have to be at. Can I share one thing with you guys before I go?
Absolutely.
So I just want to, first of all, you guys did great, man. You had great questions. I mean, outstanding questions. I love it, man. You took me back. I was feeling it. You guys did your homework. You know football. You know sports. You know, and you knew me. So I mean, that's great. And I'd love to do this again. I just had no scheduling conflict today. I thought it was going to be at 4, so I had a scheduling conflict. But look, I have an event. I don't know if you guys are busy on this Saturday, but on Saturday, April the 27th, out in Columbia, Lake Elkhorn Middle School, I'm having an event. It's called Love and Basketball. So it's a celebrity basketball clinic where for kids, co-ed 5 to 18-year-olds, right? They can come. It's free. I got a bunch of NBA players coming, some NFL players, and even an Olympian that's going to be there on Saturday. Man, if you guys are free, man, it's from 11 to 2, Lake Elkhorn Middle School in Columbia, Maryland. It's going to be outstanding, man. I would love to invite you guys out if you can make it.
I'd be interested in coming to that. How would I go about if I did come? How would I go about doing that? Would I just show up or?
Just show up at this stage. Just show up and ask for me, and see me and introduce yourself to me, and you'll be good to go.
So just tell that you told me to come. Gotcha.
Well, you're very interesting. I'm interested.
Middle school.
Yep.
It starts at 10. It starts at 10, but the basketball clinic portion is from 11 to 2.
I'm very interested. The later part of that portion fits my timeline better.
It's going to be other pro athletes that come out and meet them.
Oh, very interesting.
What? Awesome. Sounds good. I appreciate that.
I will try to make it there, actually.
Yeah, and introduce yourself to me. And, you know, Pastor Sutton's going to be there also, okay?
Oh, yeah, and then we can meet in person. That would be great.
That'd be great, man. So look, I'm at my destination. The bellhop may come to my door.
It was great having you on, Mr. Ray Signor. Hopefully we get you to come on many more times.
I'd love to do it again, man. Been great. Y'all did great, man. All right?
All right, you too.
Thanks for coming. Have a good one.
Okay. Okay, that was Mr. Ray Signor. Now we're going to transition into one more football topic, or maybe two more.